Alright, this is my very first video and I'll be talking about managed service accounts. So first let me show you what I got. I have a domain here, nwtraders.msft, a couple of computers. I have a web server, file server, and I have a service account that is a user. You can see I can set its password and it has a lot of different tabs on it. It's your normal user account. Alright, that user account is actually used for our web server here, web server. We have a web site called www, and you'll see the application pool it's running under is www. The physical path is here. The credentials it uses for this path is that service account that we just saw in Active Directory. And in this website there's also a virtual directory that I have pointed to a UNC path on my file server. And the credentials it uses to reach that UNC path is that same service account. And last but not least, let's look at the application pool, www. And you can see here that it is listed, or it is running as SA_www, which is our service account that we are trying to get rid of. Alright, now that we've seen that, let's go back over to our domain controller, where we will now create the managed service account. You can see there's always already a managed service accounts container here. So we will create a new managed service account and put it in that container. So first we need to import the Active Directory module so we can have access to the service account commandlets. So we need to import the module. Let it do its thing, and now we can just create the new managed service account. And I'm just going to paste it in here like so. And what we did here was we used the new AD service account commandlet, created a new managed service account named MSA_www. That can be anything. It's enabled, and we specified the path, which is managed service accounts nwtraders msft, and you can see that in here. If we refresh this guy, we will now see our managed service account. If you right click on it, you'll notice that you can't change its password, and if you go to properties, it doesn't have much. I also want you to see the SAM account name for this is actually what we specified plus a $sign. So this is how Active Directory stores it. This is important to know that there is a $sign right behind that. Alright, well, now that we have created the managed service account, now we need to install it on the computer that we want to use it on, which in our case is the web server. So let's go over to our web server, and first things first, in order to import the Active Directory module, you'll have to install this feature here, which is Active Directory module for Windows PowerShell. So just add the feature, drill down to this, and just check the little box, hit OK, and you'll have it. And then you'll be allowed to add the Active Directory module, which will give you access to the service account commandlets. So let's go ahead and import the module. And then we want to install the service account. So let's do that. AD service account, and this one's real easy. Just like that. Okay. Now we can take a look at it. And it'll ask you for a filter if you don't specify it. We can just do star since we only have one right now. But you'll see here now it has a host computer of WebServe. So that means WebServe can use this particular managed service account. Okay, so now our web server can use it. So we can go back over to IIS Manager, go into our website, and change the application pool to use this new managed service account. We want to choose custom account. And the syntax here is going to be domain, the domain name, / managed service account SAM account name. So it will be $. Remember, we need the $, because it's asking for the SAM account name here. If we don't have the $, that will happen. It'll say it's a bad password, but really it's just a bad username. So since Active Directory is going to handle the password for us, we don't have to specify a password here. So just hit OK, hit OK, hit OK. Alright, now our application pool is running as our managed service account. Alright, I'm going to go into the advanced settings here. Now, this physical path credentials will not accept our managed service account. And I'll go ahead and show that to you. If we specify a user here and do the same syntax, it'll let us click OK a few times, but then it'll say the password is invalid, which that's not really the problem. The problem is that you just can't specify it there. So you have to use this application user. Okay, and basically just blank that out. I'm going to hit OK there, and we want to do the same thing for this guy, because we're getting rid of this this service account user that we've been using. Alright, so let's go over to our testing box, and we notice that the website does not work. Access is denied due to invalid credentials. Alright, so let's go to our web server and see what's going on. Let's look at Process Monitor and try to access it again. Okay, so we've got an access denied here, and it looks like it's impersonating this iUser account. Now, how do we fix that? By default, a website impersonates the iUser account as specified right here. So to get to there, you go to your website, you go to Authentication, the anonymous authentication, and then click Edit, and you want it to run as your application pool identity, which is our new managed service account. You click OK there, and you want to do the same for any other virtual directories or applications. Oh, that one's already set. Okay. Alright, so let's try it again. Alright, after a couple of times, we notice that it's still getting an authentication error. So let's turn this guy back on. Process Monitor. Go back to our client machine. Try to access it. We see that we got access denied again. Okay, so this time it is trying to use our managed service account. You can see that it is there too. So what's the problem? Well, it's a file permission problem. So let's go back to IIS Manager and check the permissions. And sure enough, only the old service account has access. So we can just add our new managed service account. Check the names. Okay, right here it didn't find it because it's only looking for users, groups, and built-in security principals. So let's choose some more object types, and this one is a service account. So we'll click on that, and then hit OK, and then now it'll find our name for us. Let's just give it full privileges for now. Alright, so our website is running as our managed service account, and now that content folder actually has the proper privileges. So this should work now. Let's see what happens. And sure enough, it does. Okay, now let's try to hit our file server. I'm going to refresh this guy. Okay, internal server error. It's going to be the same type of deal. It doesn't have the proper permissions. So let's go. Actually, first we can just go into the NTFS permissions right in IIS Manager, and yep, it's going to need the managed service account credentials or permissions. And let's just give it everything. Be sure it has it. Alright, and since it is a UNC path, as we've already seen before, since it is a UNC path, we'll also need to give it the proper share permissions, because right now it still doesn't work. Okay, so let's go over to our file server, since we can't do that from here, from our web server. And we can see where our share is. The www share is located here, so we'll just go there. Content. And let's check out the sharing here. And that is in fact the problem. Check the names, give it permissions, and hit OK several times, close. And let's go back to our client machine. We were getting to 500 before, and now it works. Alright, so that's what you need to know. That's how you set it up. If you want to learn more, you can go to Google and just type in Managed Service Account. Click on this first one here. What you're going to want to do is install this KB, this patch right here, on any box that's going to use it. So in our case, we would install it on our web server. There's a little bug. Every 30 days, whenever it changes the password, it fails. So you really need to install this. There's also a couple of other interesting things in here you might want to read about. And this will also bring you to the step-by-step guide. But anyway, so this should eliminate a lot of password management problems with these service accounts. It's really helpful if somebody leaves the company. You won't have to change your service account passwords, things like that. So good luck with it. Hope you use it, and hope it's useful. Thanks, bye.